table. So Waukesha has tied its last two matches. Carnegie Mellon has lost its last match and has lost two of its last three. And so Carnegie Mellon was 8-0-1 before the UA schedule. And Carnegie Mellon is trying to rebound and try to make one last push up the UA table. Right now we have starting lineups.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Cardinals. In goal number 0, Liam Ryan. Number 2, Tyler Hart. Number 4, Josh Ball. Number 7, Jason Edwards. Number 8, Dante Mancini. Number 9, Ethan Berthel. Number 10, Kieran Scarpapalli. Number 14, Peter Lindner. Number 17, Luke Verholden. Number 20, Alejandro Fernandez. Number 26, Brendan Flynn. Head coach for Carnegie Mellon is Brandon Bowman. And now the starting lineup for your Waukesha Bears. In goal number 30, Matt Martin. Number 3, Nate Boda. Number 4, Hudson Hazelwood. Number 7, Landon Green. Number 8, Eugene Hager. Number 9, John Daniels. Number 11, Owen Culver. Number 12, Gavin Morse. Number 13, Armando Sanchez Condi. Number 18, Reese Nicholson. And number 38, Nathan Spot. The head coach for the Bears is Joe Clark, assisted by Oscar Umar. And now, fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise as we pay tribute to America with the playing of our national anthem.
And the playing of the national anthem by the Mosaic Whispers. That gets us ready for the beginning of our Senior Day doubleheader here at Washington University in St. Louis. A beautiful day for anything outdoors. And again, there's just a few wispy cirrus clouds, but mostly just brilliant sunshine. A slight breeze coming from the far left corner of the field to the near right corner, so a diagonal breeze coming from the far side of the field. From the upper left corner of your screen to the lower right corner. So a diagonal breeze for the players to deal with, probably around between 5 to 10 miles per hour, not anything gusty. So the wind should not be hugely important or impactful today. As again, we'll take a look at the weather situation here. We'll give you, let's see, well, the wind chill's at 60 degrees, so there's a little bit of a breeze at 9 miles an hour out of the northwest. But again, nothing that's going to be remotely or directly impactful as far as the flight of the ball and that sort of thing. So now, early this morning, the goalkeeper to my left, whoever that's going to be, and it will be WashU that will be manning the goal first to my left. Matt Martin will have to be very careful looking up into the sun. As the sun, when it rises from the east, it comes over the horizon to my right. And so Matt Martin will have to look into the sun to start here in the first half. So both teams are on the field. Very quickly, Carnegie Mellon has the edge in offensive categories. They have scored 2.08 goals per game. WashU a goal and a half. The shot percentage, 15% for Carnegie Mellon, a little under 12% for WashU. The shots per game about equal. Carnegie Mellon 13.8, WashU at 12.7. Corner kicks per game, a slight edge to Carnegie Mellon, 5.25 per game, WashU at 4.9. This has been a little contentious rivalry. They have had, well, first of all, last year there were 3 yellows and 1 red card last year. And in 2019, between the two teams, there was a combined 4 yellow cards. And in 2018, a combined 3 yellow cards. So when these two programs get together, they're very proud programs, and there's usually a lot on the line. And so we're underway. WashU wearing their red kits today with the white numbers and white letters. Carnegie Mellon, their white kits with the, I wouldn't say maroon letterings, but it's a deeper red than what WashU features as far as the color scheme is concerned. Matt Martin wearing his bright blue goalkeeping kit. And Liam Ryan to my right wearing the purple goalkeeping kit for Carnegie Mellon. So WashU in the opening moments will try to build with Nate Voda from the back line. Landon Green, that's a good feed to him, and he settled it pretty well. Towed it ahead. Culver's pushed from behind by Schonwetter, and there's an example right there. These two programs, they're contentious. And so let's see whether there's early chance here for ball. Sarvapelli tried to get to it, and great job by Nathan Spock to jump in there very quickly to punch that ball away with his right foot just before Sarvapelli could get to it. But Schonwetter will try to reload the Tartan offense, and this time Spock's called for a pull as he was pulling on the arm. And we'll see if a yellow card's going to be issued there. That was a fairly obvious pull, and the lead official is going to talk to Nathan about. Well, Nathan's on the far side of the field now, so he's going to be talking to Armando Sanchez-Conde, and Armando says it wasn't me that did the tugging. It was my teammate. I'm not going to single him out for you. In any event, it is a foul. It will be ball that has a free kick for Carnegie Mellon early. Low line drive. It's thumped by Voda and then cleared by Landon Green out to the far sideline. It will be a throw-in for Carnegie Mellon. Ethan Furtal's leading scorer for the Tartans. He has 7 goals this season, 2 game-winning goals, leading shot taker as well, and he also has a very healthy shot on goal percentage of 69.6%. Brendan Schonwetter is a very good forward as well. He plays on the back line, but he also moves up in the offense very well. He has 3 goals this season, 2 game winners for Schonwetter. As this one's played back to Liam Ryan. We'll talk about Liam's prowess here in just a moment. Jake Slackman, we'll see him as a reserve. He has 2 goals and 2 assists for the Tartans. Josh Ball in the field now with a goal and 3 assists. That goal was a game winner as well for the Tartans. Alejandro Fernandez, the start. He has 5 assists to lead the team. And Liam Ryan, 8-2-1 as a goalkeeper for the Tartans. Goals against average of 0.86. Save percentage of almost 76%. 3 shutouts this season for Ryan. Another foul for WashU results in another free kick. And let's see if the Tartans can put this one in the back of the net to get things started. So WashU senior day. Ball will kick it away. A humpback lining free kick that was meant to get to, let's see, they're trying to get to Ethan Vertal there. A little short of the mark. Sarvapelli now. Rolls it ahead, middle of the field. Quick shot well wide of the mark. It will be a goal kick for WashU. Quick shot attempted by Alejandro Fernandez there, and perhaps a little bit too quick. He didn't get his hips pivoted squarely toward the frame, and as a result left that wide. So we're early on. We are in the 4th minute. Fernandez will write his chance down. Wide of the near post off a corner kick. So we're going to jot down some of the bullet points of interest and importance in the first half as Spock tried to send it downfield and bounce it off the back of Vertal. And Washi trying to gain some position in Carnegie Mellon territory. Culver tried to get to it. He was shouldered off the ball nicely. And then Sanchez Conde couldn't get to it. And it's moved out of bounds. Good job by Tyler Harp to defuse that situation. As he knows Culver's dangerous. One of the most dangerous players in the UAA. Offensive Player of the Year from last year. And currently, Culver has 5 goals and 3 assists. He's been kept in check pretty well. And there's always at least 2 players shadowing him from opposing defenses. And as the ball is moved ahead, the lead official blows his whistle and says there was a foul. So Washi will have a free kick inside of the midfield stripe. Good thing there was a foul there because the Tartans looked like they had a little bit of a jailbreak heading toward Washi territory. But for the moment, that was diffused. Let's see if the Bears can entrench themselves in Tartan territory. Nicholson wants Spock to play back a little bit. Reese was trying to move up a little bit in the proceedings. Sanchez Conde, a great feed to him, but a nice sliding tackle there. And that was done by Dante Mancini. Got all ball and stopped the progress of Sanchez Conde without a foul. So Carnegie Mellon and Green tried to wrench the ball away from Tyler Harp. He's called for a foul. So again, there's a lot of contact here early. A couple of pushes, some arm tugs. Because usually when these two teams meet in conference play, usually it's a very important part of the season. It is for both teams. This could be the pivotal match that determines whether these teams, both teams, or maybe one of them or none, get into the NCAA tournament. Chicago seems to have a good, firm grasp of the conference at this point. Undefeated, #1 team in the country. 2 points behind us, Case Western Reserve. So I think the matches today may determine the final pecking order of who's going to compete for the UA championships and who's going to be trying to play out the string and hope to get an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. So with that on the line, and there's a lot on the line, a lot of chips on the table for these two teams, you can understand that the emotions are already running high on the opening kickoff, and sometimes that might simmer over outside of the kettle and onto the range and stove. For now, Carnegie Mellon content to move it up slowly. Schlingeman tried a long feed up to Edmonds, unsuccessful. Edmonds pressuring to get the ball back. And the Tartans do end up with it back into Washi territory. Edmonds says, okay, boys, who's with me? In the middle of the field. Oh, nice feed to the far side. Sarvapelli trying to measure up a shot here, perhaps. No, that's Josh Ball. Ball plays it through the legs of Edmonds. Marolda has a chance. It curls. It's deflected. Sean Wetter heads it down to try to keep it in play, but WashU now with a chance. Culver taps back to Sanchez Conde, and now Gavin Morse. Morse, nice feed. Oh, but just a little bit too much pace to it as it gets past Landon Green. It'll be a throw-in for Carnegie Mellon. So the throw in. Green actually got a foot on it away from Vertal, as Sanchez Conde tried to advance deep and he couldn't. Voda trying to keep the ball away from Fernandez. Hazelwood comes back to help out. And Matt Martin, the second team All-American goalkeeper from last year for WashU. He's one of our seniors. Found another senior, Morris, with that long feed downfield. With the ball out of bounds. Off of Daniel's foot, it will be a throw-in for Carnegie Mellon. I want to congratulate our seniors, Hudson Hazelwood, Shiv Lamba, Gavin Morris, Armando Sanchez Conde, Matt Martin, and also our student assistant coach, Sergio Rivas. He is going to be playing for St. Louis City in the He'll be playing professional soccer here for St. Louis in the MLS. So congratulations to Sergio, and he's serving as an assistant to round out his campaign. We miss his goal-scoring expertise on the field, but we are very happy that he's able to play professionally very, very soon when St. Louis City FC starts their experience in Major League Soccer. Daniels on the far side for WashU has it towed away as he's trying to head upfield. In fact, it might have clipped a bit of Daniels' shin, and he winces in pain. Daniels does a little bit. And the foul there will give WashU a free kick. Sarvapalli called for the foul there. So, again, you're going to see some contact. You're going to see teams that are desperate to get a win here to try to stay alive in the UA conference race and to also keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive. So some contact will be, I wouldn't say it's mandatory, but it's going to be frequent today. You can bet on that. We've already seen a little bit of it at the very beginning of this match. We're in the 10th minute. No one has scored yet between WashU and Carnegie Mellon. Senior day for the WashU men. The women will have their senior day match against Carnegie Mellon at 1:30 this afternoon, Central Time. And right now, Harp will bring it over to the far side for Mancini. Edmonds try to set it up for Fernandez. Harp backtracks a bit, now finds Marolda on the near side with a little bit of space. Try to get past Green. Tap by Spock's boot as he's trying to keep Vertal from having a chance. Sarvapelli will roll it over far side. Edmonds to his left foot. Try to roll it to Sarvapelli, and it's just beyond his reach. It'll be a goal kick for WashU. I think Sarvapelli was expecting Edmonds to tee it up, and he was looking away from the ball a little bit, maybe thinking that there might be a rebound. But instead, Edmonds tried to serve it up to Sarvapelli, and by the time Kieran saw it coming to him via a pass, it was beyond his reach and out of bounds. Fernandez has taken the lone shot so far in the match. It was wide of the near post. And that was in the 4th minute. So both teams trying to establish some momentum with their offenses. So far it's been a battle defensively. Marolda. Vertal had it taken away by Green. Ball ricochets to Sean Wetter. And moving back, Harp says, let's go ahead and reload. As he sent it over to Schlingemann, now far side for Mancini. Hazelwood steps in and takes the ball away. He was tugged from behind by Baugh. So a free kick for WashU. Eugene Hager thought about playing it quickly, decides better of it, now plays it back to Nicholson. So again, your starters for WashU today. Nathan Spock has the ball on his foot right now. Matt Martin, the goalkeeper. Spock's joined by Nate Voda and Reese Nicholson on the back line. John Daniels, the midfielder. Eugene Hager, Landon Green, and Hudson Hazelwood. Up front, Gavin Morris, Owen Culver, and Armando Sanchez-Conde. We'll go over the Tartan starters one more time in just a moment. Ball, a nice feed to the corner, but just a little bit beyond the reach of Edmonds, out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for WashU. So up front, Josh Baugh and Ethan Vertal. Midfielders of Kieran Sarvapalli, Tyler Harp, Alejandro Fernandez, and Luke Marolda. On the back line, Diedrich Schlingemann, Dante Mancini, along with Jason Edmonds and Brendan Schonwetter. Again, Schonwetter's an offensive-minded defender. He has 3 goals this season, so we'll see if he moves up early and often in the proceedings. As Sanchez-Conde able to brush it over to Hager. Daniels ahead to a charging and overlapping Hazelwood. Hudson, nice maneuver past Baugh for the moment. Can he get free for a pass to Sanchez-Conde? Comes off of Arnold's boot. Finds Culver. The shot is over the crossbar and a golden opportunity for WashU, but Culver leaves it high over the crossbar for a goal kick. So in the 14th minute, that was the best chance for either team, as Culver over the crossbar from Sanchez-Conde. That was a great feed, and Daniels had a part in that, trying to draw up a goal, and Culver just stepped into it and left it high over the crossbar. Voda now trying to keep the ball hemmed in for Daniels. Daniels tackled by Edmonds, no foul, got all ball there. Culver another chance perhaps, try to get a shot, smothered both times there by Schlingemann. Good job by Diedrich there to keep Culver from getting a clean shot away. Now Vertal wins the ball for the Tartans, and that relieves the pressure for the moment. Beautiful sunny day here in St. Louis. Perfect day for soccer. Temperature in the 60s. Just a light, pleasant breeze. As Harp now will send a long feed near side for Fernandez. Alejandro towing it now. Marolda overlapping. Spock deflects. And Nicholson has to head it beyond the end line, so it's going to be a corner kick. And we're going to see if the Tartans can use this set piece. First quarter of the match. Let's see if the Tartans can get on the scoreboard first. As Luke Marolda will handle this one. Vertal looks to get a corner. He's right in front of Matt Martin in the middle of the goal frame. Spock trying to keep an eye on him there, and along with Nicholson. Let's see where Marolda wants to place this. He's going to try to go to the far post, curling toward the frame, and finally cleared out of bounds by Armando Sanchez Conde. So good job by Armando to clear it. And as a result, it won't be another corner. It'll be a throw-in for Carnegie Mellon. That ball had some late curl toward the far post. It was trying to bend that way. Marolda had ideas of trying to bend it like Beckham, so to speak, and bend that toward the far post and inside the post, but didn't have enough bend in it. It's a good attempt, though. And the Tartans will keep this in WashU territory for the time being, and now they'll reload and try to get reorganized from the back line in Tartan territory. Schlingemann. Marolda. Back to Schlingemann, and so let's see now, long feed. Nicholson falling down, able to head it away from Baugh to keep him from having a chance. Vertal trying to keep it in the Tartans' possession. Culver ends up with it. Owen calmly trying to weave through a couple of players, does, and now finds Hazelwood with some space. Hudson advances quickly beyond the midfield stripe, over to Morse. Gavin, going to be a second lieutenant when he comes out of graduation here. And not enough pearls to be strung together for a necklace there. As Carnegie Mellon comes back with it. Sarvapelli to Edmonds, and now wheeling and churning upfield. And a chance there. Fizzles for Fernandez, but the ball brought near side for Marolda. Vertal, can he get free? Spock is doing a great job of shadowing him. Again, Vertal's leading scorer with 7 goals this season for Carnegie Mellon. Leading in points with 14. So Spock has the difficult task of keeping Vertal at bay, and so far he's been able to do it. But there are other dangerous players for Carnegie Mellon as well. Edmonds on the far side leaves it back for Baugh. Upfield for Fernandez, and Nicholson taps upfield to Heger. Green out to the midfield, and then Marolda is able to recapture it for the Tartans, and the Tartans will try again for another chance at the WashU goal. That pass heavy off the boots of Harp, and Edmonds, as a result, the ball skidded away from him on the far sideline. And WashU will have a throw-in. No substitutions as of yet for either team. We have no score, and we're in the 18th minute right now. A little more than 27 minutes left. Jay Murray with you on the WashU Sports Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm up here in the press box. A nice crowd for both schools in the bleachers below here at Francis Olympic Field. Glad you can be with me and keep me company here on a gorgeous Sunday here on the campus of Washington University. Hager rolling over far side for Voda as WashU's slowly trying to be building an attack deliberately. using the short passing game to try to move it up, and then if there's nothing there, then go back and reset. That's what Heger did to Voda, and now it's Nicholson trying to probe and find a seam to work with. Maybe there's one here with Green. Green rolls it to Culver inside the penalty area, swept out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick as Schoenwetter had to come back and sweep it away. He was hoping to sweep it away from the sideline, but instead it went beyond the end line. So WashU has its first corner kick of the match. Culver will take this. He has a left-footed approach to this, so he can curl this toward the frame if he wants to. Let's see if he chooses to do that. Liam Ryan setting his defenders for Carnegie Mellon. Here's the kick for Culver. It was arcing toward the frame, but headed out. It looked like Schlingeman might have got ahead on that. But WashU still pressuring to try to get another chance here on this possession. Heger brings it back out to Hazelwood, and he'll play it back to Voda, who has a clear look at the field from the center back spot where he handles momentarily. Morse heading it back to Daniels, trying to run up on the ball, and the ball got away, and Carnegie Mellon ends up with it. Edmonds will bring it back. Now Sarvapelli tries to curl upfield, can't. Edmonds has it. Collision between Sarvapelli and Hazelwood. So the Carnegie Mellon fans thought there might have been a foul, or should have been a foul against WashU. And the lead official on the field blows his whistle for a moment. And they're trying to figure out who should have the throw in, and I guess it's going to be a foul on WashU the way the Bears are walking. So this contentious nature between the two teams, again, there's nothing as far as the rivalry itself is concerned that creates the bitterness and the simmering of emotions, but when they play each other again deep in the UA schedule where there's a lot on the line, and so tempers already are close to the boiling point even before the match begins, because both teams know that postseason hopes could hinge on what happens on the field here today. Ooh, and there's a big collision, for example, right there. Two players, Marolda and Green, going shin to shin. Unfortunately, both are all right. That was a heavy collision. That's why they wear shin pads. And Morse got ahead of the field, and he is called for offsides. But you can hear that shin to shin collision all the way up here in the press box. It's a good thing they have shin pads, because there might be a couple of broken legs, one for each player, as both players really trying to get to that ball, and Marolda and Green look to be okay for their respective teams. As Ryan, the goalkeeper for Carnegie Mellon, will roll it ahead. WashU now pressuring a bit with the front line at the edge of the penalty area. Ryan tries to loop a feed over that high line. It's headed back, but Hazelwood has it for WashU. Now it's Nicholson. And we're at the midway point of the first half in the 23rd minute. WashU and Carnegie Mellon scoreless. WashU 5-3-2 overall, 1-0-2 in conference play in fourth place. Carnegie Mellon 9-2-1, but unfortunately, a couple of losses in conference play have left them behind WashU in sixth place at 1-2-0 in conference play. So with the difference in the standings, WashU 4 points behind first place Chicago. And Carnegie Mellon 6 points. So Carnegie Mellon really in more desperate straits than WashU when you think about trying to get back close to Chicago and Case Western Reserve in the UA standings. Chicago has the lead, 9 points. And Case Western Reserve with 7 points in second place in the men's side of the UA table. So both teams, this is the hinge weekend. Postseason hopes hinging on perhaps this weekend, where WashU led 1-0 from the 14th minute to the 89th minute. And we'll hold our thought there as Morris tried to find Culver, and Culver, the pass a little behind him. Sanchez Conde tried to run up on that, and he had the ball taken away by Sarvapelli. Good job by Kieran to avoid a foul and to extract that ball and to keep that WashU chance from building toward a goal. Landon Green rolling ahead now to Sanchez Conde. Culver, can he get to it on the far side? No. Good job by Mancini to run up to it. William Raybon is in the game now for Carnegie Mellon. There's a hip-to-hip collision. Green's going to be called for a foul there. Raybon deserves a bit of watching as well. Raybon last year was actually an honorable mention UA selection. He's not played a lot this season, but he is in action here as a reserve on the field right now. So let's see if he can channel his honorable mention performance from last season into today's match for Carnegie Mellon. Sarvapelli, nice move to get past Hager, but his shot deflected by Nicholson. Good help defense by Nicholson there. Raybon trying to keep it in play, and it's bounced off of Hazelwood for a throw-in. So Carnegie Mellon has made a substitution. WashU is poised to make one here, and perhaps a couple of players in for the Bears in just a moment. Joe Clark has yellow pennies on 2 players at the scorer's table. So Carnegie Mellon will have a throw-in from the far side of the field. No score in the 25th minute. Very important match between these two teams. Carnegie Mellon is ranked 17th by D3Soccer.com. That was before this weekend's action began. But Carnegie Mellon, a very painful loss, a 4-0 loss at Chicago to start the weekend. So the Tartans are trying to make amends for that. WashU likewise suffered had to take a swallow a bitter pill of a tie instead of a win, as it lost a chance to get a victory in the last minute against Case Western Reserve and settled for a 1-1 tie. So both teams trying to wipe away that bitterness and to savor a victory here today. Daniels' charge was stopped. He was upended. Further contact, and Daniels, or I think it was Sanchez Conde, might have got whistled for a foul there too. No yellows as of yet. Again, this rivalry in the last 3 meetings, there have been some yellows given and a red because of one player had 2 yellows, and that equals a red, and out of the match you go. So combined 10 yellow cards in the last 3 matches between these two teams. Hager, actually it was Green trying to move upfield, couldn't. Baugh, Sarvapelli, and the feed upfield, and collected easily by Nicholson because Vertal lost his footing. He might have been assisted by a bear in losing his footing there, as Martin had to send it long and beyond the end line, actually beyond the beyond the touch line there, as Vertal was trying to impede that long feed. So the Bears played a high line for a couple of moments with their forwards, and now they've retreated a little bit. They don't want to leave themselves exposed beyond the back line. At least at this point in the match, there's no score midway through the first half. Sarvapelli, and there's room now for Marolda, wearing his lime-colored boots. Harp to the near side for Baugh. Baugh, skittering cross, intercepted by Hazelwood. Up to Morse. Let's see if WashU can get something rolling here as Morse. Good job by the Tartans to converge and get back defensively to keep a jailbreak from occurring. So WashU has to go back to its deliberate play, and they'll try once again with Hazelwood on the far side. Daniels. Green sweeps it back to Voda, who then plays it back to Martin. Nicholson near side. He's allowed a little bit of space for the moment. Vertel now trying to take it away as Nicholson sends it up. Harp had it, taken away by Green. Spock finding Culver ahead. Nicely weighted, but can Culver keep it in play? No. Thought it was weighted well at first, but there was a little bit of topspin on that ball, and the ball just got away from Culver. And the ball out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. Meanwhile, Peter Radovich is in for WashU. Morse is out. Joseph Hipskin is in as well. And also checking in Zach Susi. So it'll be Morse, Sanchez Conde, and Green exiting. Susi along with Radovich and Hipskin on the field now for WashU. Meanwhile, a goal kick for Carnegie Mellon's Liam Ryan, who's not been tested yet. He's not had to make a save. He did watch a Owen Culver shot zoom over the crossbar, in which Owen would like to have back, I would imagine, if you talk to him. He was able to step into a nice pass from Sanchez Conde, but left it high over the crossbar, and that was in the 14th minute. We are now in the 30th minute with 15-plus minutes remaining. Verolda exits for Carnegie Mellon. And checking into the match for the Tartans will be Zach Schonwetter. So Brendan and Zach, freshman twins from Louisville, Kentucky. So Zach Schonwetter. Oh, and his clearance intercepted by Radovic. Can he thread it through to Culver? He can't. Radovic might have been better served to launch from distance there. But he tried to find WashU's leading scorer, Culver. It's not a bad idea either, but the pass just didn't get there. Mancini to Edmonds. Edmonds comes back to the ball, and a nice job for Vertol, and the shot is just beyond the near post. Edmonds with a great feed to Vertol. Vertol got behind the defense on the right flank, then tried a diagonal shot to try to roll it inside the near post, and he almost was successful. It rolled just wide. It was in the 31st minute, and that was the first great chance for Carnegie Mellon. It was a diagonal shot as he was trying to find the near post out of the reach of Martin. Martin's wide wingspan forces players to try to go across the frame like that. Let's see what Washington can do here. Susi. Culver trying to get away from two defenders. Has some chances here. A shot and a save for Ryan at the far post. So Culver finally fought through two defenders. Got enough space to hit a shot on goal. And Ryan was there to make the save. It was a shot that Ryan was able to track cleanly. He had no traffic around him or in front of him. But it's good to see Culver get free to get a shot away. That might give him some more confidence to fight his way through more defenders to try to get a blink of an eye opening for a chance. And here, speaking of such, Vertol trying to get past Nicholson. Great matchup there. The ball forwarded on a pass to Sarvapalli. It's intercepted by Voda, and pressure is relieved for the moment. But now it rebuilds as the Tartans try to get closer to the penalty area. Sarvapalli between two players, still with the ball on his feet. Edmonds, a sharp cross, chipped away by Spock. But racing to pick it up, Zach Schonwetter. Trying to get past Susi. Susi doing his best to try to body up on Zach, and Susi takes the ball away. Great job by Susi of WashU to defuse that. Radovic trying to keep it in WashU's feet, but instead Edmonds chips it long for Vertol, and that forces Martin to come out of his goal at the edge of the 6 far side. They get that short hop and secure it firmly before Vertol could finish off that sequence. That was dangerous as WashU was scrambling for the ball to try to head upfield, and that left some openings on the far side. Edmonds saw it quickly and then launched a quick long feed to Vertol, and a little bit beyond Ethan's reach. And fortunately, Martin was there to pick up the loose ball. So we're still scoreless. A little more than 12 minutes left in the first half. Jay Murray with you on the WashU Sports Network. Wonderful to have you alongside on a perfect day here in St. Louis. Perfect fall afternoon. Hipskin tried to get free. Instead, taps it to Daniels. Daniels on the far side. Daniels threading. Can't find a player inside Sanchez Conde. Actually, it was Radovic the intended target. This one is Pitchfork with some weird spin, and Ryan, fortunately, they're able to adjust to the spin and grab the ball. And he keeps it away from WashU as a result. So the Tartans will now trying to move their way as WashU's front line. 4 players across, trying to force a turnover. Hipskind as Harp delivers over to Mancini. He rolls it ahead to Edmonds. Good tic-tac-toe passing for the moment as picking the ball up is Ball now to the near side. Zach Schonwetter has an opportunity to set things up, moves to the middle of the field, still has some room and the ball with him. 3 players surround him. Brendan Schonwetter, his brother, now has a touch of it. Ball trying to get free, does, and a shot bouncing twice into the arms of Matt Martin. Great passing there by Carnegie Mellon. In the 34th minute, Martin had to save on Ball there, and that was, again, great passing by the Tartans, and Washington seemed to step behind there. But fortunately, Matt Martin was minding the store, and he was able to get a good look at that shot and saved it easily. Martin brings it over to Voda. Voda's allowed to bring the ball up a few paces. Daniels to Culver, sandwiched, pushes one player down. The lead official didn't see it, so no foul. He was the lead official watching the ball, and Culver got away with a push on Brendan Schonwetter. Schlingeman, though, intercepts for the moment, but then Susie finds Spock. Nathan puts on the brakes, brings the ball out a little bit to get some more space for Heger. Heger to Susie, Spock. Trying to find Radovich, give and go back to Spock, intercepted by Schlingeman, who saw that develop and raced in from behind to take the ball away. And as a result, the pin still in the grenade there. Heger, though, gets free for a moment inside the area. The shot, and a leaping save made by Ryan. And Culver tried to get to it, and the ball cleared away by Mancini to take no chances. 36th minute there. So Ryan had to make a leaping save there in the 36th minute. So both teams have had some very good chances. Culver in the 14th minute had a shot over the crossbar on a great feed from Sanchez Conde. Ethan Vertal likewise had a nice chance on the right flank, tried a diagonal shot to try to find the near post. The shot was from right to left, far side to near side. It was just inches wide of the near post. Ball and Culver's had straight-on shots that each goalkeeper, Martin and Ryan, were able to see fairly easily and make an easy save on. And Susie's shot there, Ryan had to leap to knock that one down. Now the Tartans, 3-on-4. A chance here for Ball if he can keep it in play. And he kept it in play, but the ball came off his boot heavy, and that allowed Spock to come back to take control of things for the moment. Culver now. Culver tried to thread it past, intercepted by Mancini there. Schlingeman. So both teams defensively have done a pretty good job of not allowing a lot of free roaming players to get into their territories. Now there's a good chance here for Edmonds. Shot blocked by Voda's right leg, and this one sent straight up. And the ball goes in the back of the net, but a whistle before that, and the ball went beyond the end line on that situation. So it will be a corner kick, it appears, and it will be on the far side. WashU brings in a new player. Daniels is out. And let's see who has entered the match. Is it Shiv Lamba? No. Aiden Ashrafi is in. Ashrafi in. Corner kick here for Carnegie Mellon in a scoreless match. And headed by Radovich. And a chance for a second shot is blocked as Raybon tried to get that shot launched off the deflected corner kick. Susie is now in the Carnegie Mellon Tartans playing a high line up front. Long feed taken easily by Mancini, and so back comes the Tartans. Harp. That was Vertal, and now to the near side for Baugh. Brendan Schonwetter, can he get a shot away? Decides not to. Goes to his brother, Zach. Zach tried to cross over to his left. Spock, or actually it was Hipskin, did a great job there staying with him, so the Tartans have to retreat and begin again. Mancini, a long feed, gets by Hazelwood. There's a chance now as Edmonds gets to it. Across behind Vertal. A shot now for Brendan Schonwetter is blocked and eventually cleared by Nicholson out of bounds. That was a great feed that time, as Hazelwood couldn't get his head on that long feed, and that resulted in Edmonds getting a chance to deliver across. And a sliding tackle there as Ashrafi tried to get past Brendan Schonwetter, couldn't. And Heger to Susi. Oh, try to thread it to Culver. It's just short of the mark as Harp is able to intercept that pass. As Rafi volleys it. Right foot, Brendan Schonwetter. It's a ball, and now they'll reload. Near side for Zach Schonwetter. There's a little more than 5 minutes left. No score between WashU and Carnegie Mellon in men's action in the UAA. Vitally important game for both teams as far as postseason hopes. Both teams need to go on a decisive stretch in their final few games to build a resume for postseason play. Aiden Ashrafi collides with Edmonds. Edmonds goes down at 10 yards outside the penalty area. The lead official says that's going to be a foul. As Ashrafi tried to stay with perhaps the little bit quicker Edmonds there. WashU fans thought there was incidental contact as both players went down. I was thinking more that there was going to be a free kick, and it is. Hate to say that for my fellow WashU fans, but I thought that might be a foul, and it is a foul, so it gives Carnegie Mellon some options here. Billy Bocavellis, who has entered the match a few minutes ago, he stands behind the ball. Will he be the person that serves up a chance for another teammate here on this free kick? Bocavellis, and the shot hits the wall as Bocavellis is trying to go all the way through to the frame. And oh, Matt Martin tried to smother the ball and did, but he also almost let that ball go beyond the penalty area with the ball in his hands, and that would have been disaster. Martin's legs were outside of the penalty box, but his arms and hands were just inside. Very dangerous there. That could have given Carnegie Mellon a golden opportunity, most golden of chances there. Unfortunately, Martin kept it inside the penalty area. But again, the Tartans now pressuring. Spock overran the ball, so that gives Baugh a chance now to engineer something. But his pass behind Raybon and picked up eventually by Hazelwood. Ashrafi now trying to get out of his own zone. Rolls it over to Hipskind. Joseph tried to get past Zach Schonwetter, can't. And it's going to be off of Zach Schonwetter. He thought he had a throw-in, but it'll be a WashU throw-in. Getting a sense that Carnegie Mellon might have an edge in overall team speed. In the last 10 minutes or so, the Tartans are really starting to get into WashU territory and have better opportunity to deliver passes, crosses, and such. So, again, that's just a theory on my part, but it just seems like Carnegie Mellon has had a little bit of situation where they've got WashU on its heels a little bit as the Bears are trying to keep up with the ball, and sometimes it's hard to do as Radovich exits and Carl Vesberg checks in now. Vesberg scored the lone goal for WashU in the 1-1 draw Friday night against Case Western Reserve. An inviting target. See if he gets involved in the offense here as Spock trying to lob it to Vesberg on the throw-in. Hipskind trying to control. Ball bounces away from him. Bocavellis now back to Mancini. Also in the match for Carnegie Mellon is Jake Caven. It's a sophomore. Caven is in. He's on the near side wearing number 29. Trying to keep WashU at bay here as Spock to Hipskind. Joseph rolls to Hazelwood. Susi now on the far side. 2:10 left in the first half in a scoreless match between WashU and number 7, Carnegie Mellon, number 17 rather. As we're taking a second look at the notes, 17th are the Tartans. But WashU has a bit of an edge in the standings, 4th place compared to Carnegie Mellon's 6th place. So the Tartans certainly have more of a desperation to get a victory today and not settle for a draw. Season's getting short and got to get victories instead of draws here at this point. Zach Schonwetter Bukovalis. Now the build begins here as far as Carnegie Mellon's offensive chances are concerned. The far side, Edmonds powers a ball that gets to Brendan Schonwetter. Brendan over to the far side. Mancini had pinched in. He rolls it far side for Edmonds, his defensive cohort, but it's swept away for the moment by WashU. That was by Susie helping out defensively. 1 minute to play in the first half. Again, Carnegie Mellon pressuring again. Zach Schonwetter. Near side for Caven, and his cross intercepted and out of bounds beyond the end line by Nicholson. It's a corner kick in the final minute of play in the first half for Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie's had WashU trying to play catch-up. And here, as a result, a corner kick. Edmonds trying to curl this onto the frame here. Let's see if he can do that. Actually, Bukovalis had the corner. That's to the far side. A secondary shot. A chance there by Mancini is blocked. And the ball sent out by WashU. Vesberg now to Hipskin. A sliding tackle there now by Edmonds. 10 seconds to play. Can WashU get a shot away to end the first half? Susie, can he get one from distance for Culver? No, Culver tried to get into position, but he's denied by Caven, and the first half comes to a close with no score. WashU enter the day 4 points behind Chicago. Carnegie Mellon in a little bit more desperate situations. They're 6 points behind Chicago. And if Chicago goes on to win this match, again, still a lot of playing time against Case Western Reserve today. But a Chicago win would force Carnegie Mellon to win to try to keep flagging hopes alive of trying to contend for at least a slice of the UA championship. WashU just in a little bit better shape, but it too needs a win. Another draw would probably keep them behind Chicago or Case Western Reserve a little too far to really make a push in the last few games of the season. So it's a very pivotal weekend for these two teams. Matt Martin will kick this one away. Vesper making a second half start, heads it forward. Ryan Ann also in to start the second half for a little bit more speed. But that feed was too far for Ryan Ann, and Liam Ryan, the goalkeeper, was able to get it out of harm's way. Sarvapelli now on the far side. And Mancini, his probing pass in, headed away by Voda. Zach Susie with his second half start to Ann. Now back to Susie. He wheels and brings it back to Voda. So Martin in goal for WashU. Voda, Nicholson, and Gavin Moore starting on the back line in the second half for the Bears. In the midfield, you have Susie and Hegger, Ann, Hazelwood, John Daniels. And Spock also playing defense, Nathan Spock. And up front, Ann is now forward as he's joined by Carl Vesberg. That's your starting alignment for WashU. The principals involved to start the second half in a scoreless match. Tyler Harp, along with Dante Mancini. Kieran Sarvapelli feeds it now to Ethan Vertal. Vertal trying to turn the corner and deliver a pass at the doorstep, but Martin's there to smother it. So along with Ethan Vertal, you have Jason Edmonds on the field. Alejandro Fernandez starting again in the second half. And we're scanning the field for the rest of the starters. Ball one at midfield. Susie now. Quick charge upfield. Trying to thread it forward to Vesberg, and Vesberg got a foot on it, and it came off high and beyond the goal frame and out of bounds. May have been deflected. No, maybe not. It's going to be Liam Ryan that walks over to the ball. He'll have a goal kick. So up front, Fernandez along with Vertal and Mancini. Harp and Sarvapelli. Raybon gets a start in the second half, wearing number 6. Edmonds, Harp, as I mentioned. Mancini rolls it up to Edmonds here on the near side. And it's going to be offsides as Nicholson was trying to keep Vertal from having a clean run. Vertal mistimed the feet ahead. He's calling for offsides. Schlingeman's out there as well. Dietrich Schlingeman is a defensive player, a back for Carnegie Mellon. And also Luke Marold is back out there for Carnegie Mellon as well. So I think we've got everybody covered for both teams. The starters for the second half, Liam Ryan in goal again for Carnegie Mellon. 5 shots for Carnegie Mellon, now 4 for WashU, but no score so far early in the second half. We're in the 50th minute. Both teams have a couple of very good chances, but the defenses have played pretty well. They've kept things, by and large, under wraps. There have been a lot of gratuitous advances. This one here headed away as Ryan was watching the ball come toward him, and John Daniels of WashU was hoping that ball would come to him, but it went to the far side where Nathan Spock will have a throw in. To Daniels, running free for a moment in the corner. Ravon trying to take the ball away. Daniels has a chance to cross here. Susi rolling it now to Spock toward the corner. Spock with his skittering cross intercepted. That was Mancini that got a foot on that. Meanwhile, a sliding feed to Vesberg, a little behind him. Vesberg at the edge of the 6. Ryan watching, and there's a player on the line as well to help out Ryan for Carnegie Mellon, but no shot was able to be launched toward the frame. Daniel somehow engineered a good chance on that sliding feed that Vesberg just about got a good shot against, but he was a little bit entangled by the Tartan defense enough to where he couldn't get a clean shot away. Susi trying to wheel up field. Finds Hazelwood. Hudson had Fernandez to deal with, so he's going to play it to Voda, and now Martin will try the far side of the field for Morse. And I guess the mantra here for both teams is from a book, one of my favorite books of all time, Once a Runner. This one sent long to Vesberg. Schlingeman able to get that one steered away from Vesberg. One of my favorite lines is, don't get nervous in the pack, which means if you're running a race in a mile, don't get nervous and put yourself in a position where you get jostled too much and get bumped out of position. Likewise here. You're handling the ball, especially defenders, in traffic. The team that can keep from being nervous in the pack will be the successful team here in the second half. Who can stay poised and deliver a key pass or hammer a key shot in the midst of building stress, building anxiety, and traffic. Again, both teams are all in here with their chips. Need a victory today to try to stay in the UAA race and also try to build their postseason resume. That pass meant for Daniels. He was tripped up by Marolda. Daniels sent sprawling. So that'll be a foul against Carnegie Mellon. No yellows as of yet, and that was one of the bullet points that we covered. Quick pass to Spock and a shot across the frame. And Morse couldn't get on the receiving end of that on the near side. So WashU trying to get Carnegie napping. Carnegie was trying to set its defensive alignment, and WashU took a free kick quickly, and the lead official let him do it. Spock tried to get a quick pass before the Tartans could get set. So a deep throw in for Edmonds. Pretty good loft on that. Heger got a foot to it and heads it. But Heger was standing a foot outside the touchline. Throw in for the Tartans. Sarvapelli back to Schlingeman. So Carnegie tries to build an attack here from the far side. Yeah, both defenses have been very good to this point. There's a nicely weighted feed to Sarvapelli, but sweeping in to knock the ball away was Nicholson. And a throw in coming for Carnegie Mellon. Kieran just about had a great chance to walk in toward the 6, but Nicholson's able to come out and get the ball away from Sarvapelli. Vesberg able to extract the ball. Sarvapelli went down, thought he might have been fouled. No whistle. We play on. Daniels ahead to Vesberg, and he's tripped up for a moment. Now regains his footing. Spock now to Vesberg. Vesberg trying to turn the corner. The ball comes off his boot heavy and beyond the end line for a goal kick. But it's good to see WashU starting to put some pressure deep into Carnegie Mellon territory. I thought toward the end of the first half, the Tartans were really starting to freewheel and get WashU on its heels a little bit. Fortunately, the Bears able to hold the Tartans off the scoreboard in the first half, but the Tartans had the Bears scrambling a lot in the Bears' territory. The second half starts on equal footing as both defenses can keep the lid on the pot. And now, as I say that, a takeaway and a chance here for Carnegie Mellon. A shot and a goal. Just like that, it doesn't take much to turn the tide as the Bears give up a goal. And Carnegie Mellon has a 1-0 lead. Brendan Schonwetter with the goal. And again, the defense just couldn't clear it efficiently. So the Bears thinking that perhaps, I don't know if Schonwetter may have gotten away with a push en route to moving the ball forward for a chance, but the lead official has not called many fouls today. He's let the teams play. And Schonwetter was able to step into an opportunity and deliver a goal for Carnegie Mellon. In the 55th minute. And we mentioned Schonwetter. He is a dangerous player. He's a defender by trade, but he can move up into the attack and be successful and effective. It's his 4th goal of the season. So Carnegie Mellon has drawn first blood here, leading 1-0. Can WashU answer? We'll see if there's an assist on that, but I think Schonwetter created that all by himself. The Bears' defense was trying to get the ball cleared, and again, the ball may have come heavy off the boots of one player, and that, in the blink of an eye, is all it takes sometimes here. Ryan Ann will exit. Vesberg will exit as well. Armando Sanchez-Conde has returned. But the Bears need to get the equalizer here, and Daniels, Spock, had it for a moment. Daniels tried to regain, and the ball chipped out of bounds far side. Raybon went to the turf. Looks like he's none the worse for wear. He's back up. But Brendan Schonwetter, he's trying to fight free there. No, that was actually Fernandez that tried to fight free, and he draws a foul from WashU, so a foul is called. And this will place the opportunity well within the reach of the WashU goal on the left flank. So Sarvapelli, will he be the one that puts this one into play? No, it's going to be Fernandez that'll handle the free kick. But it's a great chance for Carnegie Mellon to build a 2-goal lead. Tartans lead 1-0 over WashU. In a dangerous situation here, could put the Bears in a deep hole if Carnegie Mellon can score off this free kick. Players jostle, push each other as they try to get to this free kick. Low line drive kick that's headed by Nicholson before Martin can get to it. Edmonds try to head it forward at the edge of the 6, and that's blocked as well. Hazelwood ends up with it for WashU, and then Susie clears it partially, and then Sanchez-Conde was trying to run on the ball and hit upfield. He is tripped and fouled, and so it's a free kick for WashU. A low dipping line drive of a free kick there. Edmonds got a head on it, but he tried to get it through traffic, and it didn't ricochet to his benefit and to the Tartans' benefit. Susie, Hazelwood, trying to tap it ahead for Culver. Now to Susie inside the box. Zach Susie trying to get something and maybe get a tying goal here. Feeds it over to Spock, and Nathan Spock has tied the match. Susie able to find a probing pass that bounced to Spock, and Spock bounces it into the net, and we're tied at 1-1. In the 58th minute, WashU has scored the equalizer. I thought that the Bears needed to score it fairly quickly, or else the momentum might go totally to the Tartan side for the rest of the match. But a great job by Spock to get a goal. The assist by Susi. And we are tied 1-1 as a result. So WashU, after giving up the first goal of the match, 3 minutes later, the Bears get the equalizer. Nathan Spock with his second goal of the season and of his career. Susi should get an assist, and that would be his third assist of the season. So we're all square again at 1-1. Verdal tried to get to that ball, but Spock able to deny for the moment. Raybon now keeps it in WashU territory. Fernandez, Sarvapelli tied up, and then the ball taken away by Daniels nicely. Culver taps to Susi. Can Zach work some more magic here on the near side? He engineered the goal by Spock. Let's see what happens here. Sanchez Conde gives it to Culver. Culver trying to get his shot away. Can't. Sanchez Conde in traffic. Taps to Daniels. A quick shot blocked. Another shot by Culver is also blocked, and the ball sent up to midfield. So both teams now pressuring, getting chances. WashU now has had a couple of chances. They've got one chance converted into a goal. Decent chance there again. Susi's magic with his feet has given the Bears a bit of a chance to play on equal terms with the Tartans. Mancini with a long run. Oh, Sarvapelli gets free. A shot and a diving save by Matt Martin at the near post. So Sarvapelli had too much room there. Somebody's got to close that down. WashU marking. Might have been some confusion of who was supposed to get Sarvapelli, and Kieran was left alone for a moment. And diving save required by Matt Martin there to keep this a 1-1 game. That was in the 59th minute, that chance by Sarvapelli. On the far side, Daniels, who's been instrumental in just kind of being a glue that, or a conduit that's helped WashU get some chances offensively. And stepping in Susi to stop that run. Sarvapelli picks it up, and Carnegie slowed for a moment, and Spock and Marolda collide leg to leg, and both players are shaken up. That was an ankle-to-ankle collision. Both teams trying to club that ball upfield with their respective legs, and both players are shaken up. A similar situation in the first half where it was a shin-to-shin contact between Marolda and Landon Green. That was more up on the shin pad area to where both players were able to continue without a problem. This is maybe more of a lower ankle or lower leg situation where maybe the shin pad didn't quite cover the areas of the legs of both those players. Spock is on his feet and trying to walk it off a little bit. Marolda may have suffered the worst of the collision between the legs and ankles. And Marolda is hobbling, trying to stay in the match. Jumps up and down a little bit, says, I'm okay now. So Marolda will stay in the match. Again, does some skipping to kind of get the blood flow back in the ankle there to see if we get some flexibility back. So an injury timeout. We have a little more than 30 minutes left. A lot of playing time left in this one. In a very important match for both teams' postseason aspirations. We're tied 1-1. Jay Murray with you here on the WashU Sports Network. 7 shots for Carnegie Mellon so far, 6 for the Bears. And both teams have scored a goal in the second half. It was a scoreless first half. And the lead official having discussion, I think, with both coaches, and especially with Brandon Bowman, the head coach of Carnegie Mellon. I think it's a little bit more upset. Maybe he thought there was a foul that should have been called on Spock. But no fouls. And again, this lead official, I'm not criticizing him. He's the kind of guy that lets the teams play. We haven't had a lot of fouls called. No yellows yet. And Sanchez Conde had the ball pop up and touch his hand, so it's a free kick for Carnegie Mellon. So Brennan Schonwetter scored the first goal here in this match in the 55th minute, his 4th of the season. Was able to take a loose ball situation and deposit it in the back of the net. And then 3 minutes later, Nathan Spock got the equalizer for WashU with an assist to Zach Susi. Susi delivered a great pass, and Spock was able to punch it home. And so we are tied at 1-1. Hazelwood. Hipskin back out to Voda, and he'll reset for Nicholson. Fernandez lurking, trying to get a misplay from Nicholson, but Reese will roll it over to Morse. And now Matt Martin comes just a little bit outside the penalty area to boot it long. See if he can get a good bounce to one of his teammates. Instead, Harp starts to lead the charge upfield. Sarvapelli, that's behind Raybon, is taken away by Spock instead. Culver fights through a tug. Meanwhile, Sanchez Conde has Spock with him. Sanchez Conde and to Culver, who is running and trailing the play on the near side, gets the loose ball. Culver tried to thread it over to Hipskin. This one cleared beyond the end line. I believe WashU has a corner kick coming. It does. All right, we'll see how things go as WashU has a corner kick. In a 1-1 match, a very important match. We've had a lot of physicality in this match, and that, again, belies the importance. All the chips are on the table here. This one, running up to it, and shot in the back of the goal. WashU has a 2-1 lead. Sanchez Conde delivered a room service corner kick to Hipskin, and Hipskin thumped it home. And the Bears gather around the campfire to celebrate. A thumping shot by Hipskin has put WashU ahead 2-1. That's Joseph's second goal of the season. In the 62nd minute. So Hipskin, his second goal of the season, and Sanchez Conde is going to get an assist on that. So two players collaborate for WashU there. And so WashU has a 2-1 lead now. So the Bears have the lead for the first time in the match. Can they hold on to it? They had a 1-0 lead for a long time against Case Western Reserve on Friday from the 14th minute to the 89th minute. But the Spartans scored the equalizer. Sean Atwater scored with 55 seconds left in the contest. That was a damaging draw. Otherwise, WashU would be even closer to Chicago atop the UA tables, or close to it. They'd be in second place now instead of Case Western. So the Bears trying to get a win here to keep their conference hopes alive. They won the conference outright for the first time since 1999 last year, as this chance swept aside by Nicholson. It'll be a throw in for Carnegie Mellon. So the Bears, after being down 1-0 early in this half, have scored two successive goals. A scoreless first half, and so I think that both teams are now starting to find the weak links in the armor of the other team's defenses, and they're trying to exploit those. As we've had 3 goals in the second half here, 2 for WashU, 1 for Carnegie Mellon in the first 18 minutes of the second half. So 3 goals in 18 minutes. Now the Bears on the move with Sanchez Conde. A good sliding tackle there by Mancini to stop his run, but picking the ball up now is Haggart. Hazelwood now to Hipskind. Hipskin trying to get past Edmonds. Edmonds, great sliding tackle there. Timed it perfectly to sweep it away from Hipskin as Hipskin tried to hop over him. Edmonds now towing to Vertal. And Voda tried to get to the ball. Vertal was on his way. Vertal pushed down, foul called. Carnegie Mellon with a free kick. But on that corner kick, WashU able to get that corner kick from Sanchez Conde. Usually Owen Culver takes those corners, but in that instance, Sanchez Conde delivered it. And it was a perfect corner kick to an on-rushing Hipskin. Hipskin with great momentum heading toward the ball. All he had to do is keep his body behind it and keep the shot from sailing. And Hipskin did that. Hipskin with a solid, well-struck goal. Perfectly set up by Sanchez Conde. So the Bears now have a 2-1 lead. Now it's Carnegie Mellon that's pressured to get the equalizer. As Sarvapelli to the far side for Fernandez. Fernandez is cross deflected by Spock. volleyed away by Voda for the moment, but pinching in is Mancini to keep the ball in WashU territory. Oh, the ball almost popped up and hit the arm of Nicholson. Ball loose inside the penalty area, and it's Heger that relieves the pressure along with Hipskind. Well, that ball bounced up, and that would have, if that would have hit Nicholson's arm, he was inside the box. That would have been a penalty kick. There might be some Carnegie Mellon fans that think that maybe Nicholson did touch it very slightly. Or at least they were hoping for a whistle, but fortunately, as Martin picks this ball up, so Tartan player was coming in just to make sure that Martin didn't have an easy time of it. Martin will throw it over to the far side for Morse. Morse, a long feed. Spock has done very well. He's got a goal today, and he's also very good at receiving long passes, settling the ball, and then moving upfield. Hipskind now. Hazelwood. Off the bounce, volleys a pass, headed away. And Carnegie Mellon was able to blunt that opportunity before it got started for WashU. This one over from Schlingemann to the far side of the field. Schlingemann now center back for the moments, leading Fernandez. That was intercepted, a little bit short of that pass. Meanwhile, a quick free kick. Heger was wise to it, and Vertos trying to sneak it past. Meanwhile, Edmonds with a chance. Ball headed away by Nicholson, high in the air, still dangerous. Spock puts a head to it. But the Tartans keep pressuring. Raybon now trying to turn the corner. Cross comes in. Fernandez with a header that sails just wide of the near post. That was pretty well set up on the far side. So in the 67th minute, Fernandez wide of the near post with a header. So WashU leads 2-1 now. We are at the midway point of the second half. A little more than 23 minutes left. WashU clings to a 2-1 lead. The Bears have their first lead of the match. All 3 goals scored in the second half. As teams are trying to find, again, the weak links in the armor defensively of their opponents, and also a little more desperation here. The teams taking more chances offensively to try to get goals and get a win that could help them stay close to Chicago and company in the UA standings, and also be a great resume builder. If these two teams don't get a chance to win the conference, they're trying to enhance the resume for the selection committee to see if these two teams can get in as at-large bids. Hipskind, long feed. He's able to settle it to Sanchez Conde. Good play by Tyler Harp to intercept and to thwart the opportunity, forcing a WashU throw in. In the 68th minute now, we'll try to keep track of some other scores and get updates as Sanchez Conde and Harp tangle up, and both players have a couple of words for each other. I'm not sure if they were pleasant or not. Didn't get a chance to read lips, and I'm not a very good lip reader anyway. It's one of my skills need to build on, I guess. Not sure why it's not a great, valuable skill that could pay off in the long run. This pass to Sanchez Conde or to Hazelwood from Sanchez Conde could pay off. Hazelwood inside the penalty area with the ball. Moves to his left nicely. Gets a shot away and beyond the end line, but it was deflected. I believe it was deflected by Schlingemann. That gives WashU a corner kick. Now keep in mind, WashU's second goal a few minutes ago came from a corner kick from Sanchez Conde, and Armando's going to handle this as well from the same corner. There's a situation where Hipskind in the middle of the field came charging onto the ball and was able to thump it home for a 2-1 lead. Sanchez Conde's corner here, headed away by Schlingemann. Hipskind's shot on the follow-up is blocked by Sean Wetter. It's out of bounds. It's going to be a corner for WashU on the far side of the field now. And this time Culver will take this because he has a left-footed approach and he can curl this toward the frame. So if it's on the near side, a right-footed kicker like Sanchez Conde can curl it toward the goal. And now on the far side, it's Culver that'll take this. to see if he can bend this toward a teammate. Spock and Morris are at the far post. Sanchez Conde awaits beyond the near post. Corner bends. Morris headed away by Schlingeman. A chance for Heger, and that floats over the crossbar high and out of play for a goal kick. So it'll be a goal kick for Liam Ryan of Carnegie Mellon, the goalkeeper. So we'll try to update some scores in the UA contest here, and we'll try to relay those to you as we move further into the second half. We have 20 minutes left. And a WashU 2-1 advantage over Carnegie Mellon as this ball rolls out of bounds. Be a WashU throw-in, but it's in the Bears' side of things, so the Bears need to be careful. Spock will throw it in. Throws it upfield. Schlingeman got a strong foot to it, and running up to it is Vertal. Can he get to it? Good job by Nicholson to keep him away. Morris. And now let's see. It might be an offsides here as Vertal and also another player came to join him on the far side, and while they were trying to yo-yo the ball away, Billy Bocavalis was trying to help out Vertal. There was another player on the near side that jumped offside. All right, so some results from UA games are as follows as Martin kicks the ball to midfield. NYU and Rochester played to a 1-1 draw. And Hipskin trying to muscle his way past Schonwetter, unsuccessful for the moment. Green, Culver, Spock. Fans are saying, switch the field, because Hazelwood was over here. Easier said than done with the Tartans swarming around the ball. And Nicholson tried to sweep it ahead. The ball deflects. Bukavalis, and shaking free is Josh Baugh with a chance. Baugh, as the Bears scramble back defensively. Edmonds from the corner, the cross, and leaping high to make the save is Matt Martin. That was a bona fide shot, and Martin made the save on. But the Bears had trouble clearing the zone. Heger now a little behind Sanchez Conde, so now the Tartans again can reapply the pressure. Baugh again with some open space. Try to thread it through, couldn't. Bukavalis, Edmonds, far post, nobody there. Ball too far for him to reach, and Spock trying to clear, but again, the Tartans are pinching in. They're all in, being down by a goal 2-1 here. Hazelwood clears the penalty area for the moment, but everybody's in WashU territory as the Tartans trying to get the equalizing goal at all costs here. Edmonds, ball ricochets dangerously outside the 6. Nicholson heads it. Nicholson volleys it. Bukavalis wheels a blind shot, and that's collected by Matt Martin. Bukavalis almost was able to fool the Bears there. It was a quick pivoting shot. He didn't get all he wanted on it, but he didn't have time to get as much as he wanted on that shot. He tried to get it quickly and try to sneak it past Martin, but Martin's able to make the collection. 10 shots apiece now for WashU and Carnegie Mellon. Hipskind. It was close to a handball there, but play continues. Nobody got an advantage there. Heger, Culver. Owen try to thread it through to Sanchez Conde with some spin. And good play there. Sanchez Conde gets entangled with a defender. In the match is Eli Campine, a sophomore from Nashville. Another corner gained, and so, well, not a corner, it's a throw-in. Stand corrected. That ball went out of bounds in some way, shape, or form, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Bears. 16 minutes plus remaining in the second half. WashU 2, Carnegie Mellon 1. Jay Murray with you on the WashU Sports Network. Susie tried to maneuver his way closer to the penalty area. Ball ricochets out of bounds. Another WashU throw-in. Culver couldn't settle that off the throw, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Carnegie Mellon with the throw-in. Edmonds. The looping throw-in. And Vertal tried to control it along with Bukavalis, and instead it's a WashU throw-in. Fans are into it now for both teams. They sense that this Scoreboard clock is winding down to 15-plus minutes remaining, and they see the window start to close as far as chances in this game before the window is shut for good. Sanchez Conde tried to settle, and a foul is called, so Edmonds tried to get it up quickly while WashU was in stunned amazement as that was called. Fortunately, there were enough Bears back defensively to make sure that Carnegie didn't sneak past them while they looked at the referee in dismay. Hazelwood now in his own territory. Heger. Hazelwood, one-time feed over to Susie. Voda over to Culver, who swipes it nicely near side for Hazelwood. Hazelwood, though, has passed behind Culver. It's picked up by Schoenwetter. Brendan Schoenwetter, and now back come the Tartans. And as I say that, the pass behind Vertal from Harp. And WashU gains a throw-in. 14:45 left in the second half. WashU has a 2-1 lead over Carnegie Mellon. Both teams, all their goals have been in the second half. Carnegie Mellon got things started in the 55th minute. Brendan Schoenwetter, his 4th goal of the season. 3 minutes later in the 58th minute, Nathan Spock scores a goal on the assist from Susie. Lead officials want Culver and Mancini to make amends. Culver is trying to offer some apologies, and Mancini wants none of it. Bucavales into the penalty area. Chance for Baugh. He can't settle it, though, at the edge of the 6, and finally cleared by WashU, but the Tartans are now starting to swarm around the net, as they did late in the first half. WashU needs to move upfield to relieve the pressure. Susie chips it. Sanchez Conde can't get to it, so the Tartans keep that ball hemmed in on the near side. Mancini to Edmonds. Trying to get past Hazelwood. Hudson gets a forearm up, and is that going to be a foul on Hazelwood? I believe it will be, and that will give Carnegie Mellon a free kick. And it's beyond the corner, but still dangerous here as WashU's trying to protect a 2-1 lead, but the Tartans are looking to tie the match. Ball will have the free kick. Players clustering beyond the far post. Ball, strong left-footed line drive kick. The ball ricochets, and finally Voda got a foot on it to clear the penalty area, and then Heger sends it long. And that's going to bounce out of bounds at the WashU bench, but it will. Actually, it did not get out of bounds as Liam Ryan punched it back in. That goes out of bounds beyond the Carnegie Mellon bench, but I thought that ball was going to bounce beyond the touch line at WashU's bench, but it stayed in, and Liam Ryan was already well off his line. He said, I better go get this and kick it long and out of harm's way, and he did. WashU with the throw in. Daniels tried to get on the end of it. Can't. Campina able to get to it, and now WashU trying to exert some pressure. Near side for Hazelwood. Hudson overlapping as Susie. Hazelwood with a shot deflected by Culver's back heel. Culver was looking ahead, didn't see the ball coming, hit the back of him. And so WashU had a little bit of a brief foray into Carnegie Mellon territory, but the Tartans now will start from their territory here and try to build something that's sustainable with a little bit more than 12 minutes left in the second half. WashU leads 2-1. Voda trying to tow it upfield, but ball keeps it in play in WashU territory for Mancini. Harp. Bucavales shaking free for a moment, rolling far side. It's like Zach Schoenwetter's in the game. Tried to wheel past his defender Spock. Spock staying with him. Pass delivered. Susie intercepts for WashU. Susie, though, has passed too far for Daniels, so now the Tartans get a chance to regroup in WashU territory. Vertal. Morse takes that pass and sends it to the far sideline. Campine trying to keep it in, and it should be a throw for WashU, and it will be. Well, I thought it was going to be a throw for WashU, and I stand corrected. Bucavales now will throw it in. Now, can he get distance on this throw-in? He's going to be on the track to try to run up to this throw-in. He's going to try to launch this as close as he can to the frame. 11:05 remaining in the second half. A side-arming, slinging throw in there is headed away. I think Voda got a hit on it. But the Tartans keep pressure alive, and everybody for the Tartans is in Waukesha territory except for the goalkeeper, Liam Ryan. So the Tartans are all in. The chips are on the table here to try to get the equalizer. Culver intercepts that with a volley, with a boot. Now Edmonds crossing far post. Nicholson got a head to it. Bukovalis trying to settle, does. Sweeps it over to the far side for Zach Schonwetter. Zach trying to get past Spock. Spock with good positional defense. Now on a wing. Harp tried to thread it through, lost his balance. Spock ends up with it now for Culver. Can Wash you get a counterattack here? Nope, the pass too long for Daniels. But Mancini obliges WashU a little bit by swinging it back to Ryan, and now Ryan brings it back to Mancini. As the Tartans regather their resources with 10 minutes to play in the second half. WashU is up 2-1. The Bears trying to scramble and move upfield to relieve the pressure. Heger got a boot to it. Ball ricochets to midfield. Hipskin spins it off his boot near side. Edmonds picks it back up. Again, the Tartans are all in. They're moving players, all of them, except for the goalkeeper, Ryan, into WashU territory at every opportunity. Bears circling their wagons. Hopefully the wagons are stout. And this one's rolled beyond the end line. And that should be a goal kick for WashU, and it will be. Substitutions for both teams. One player for both teams come in. Daniels is out for WashU. Ryan Ann is in for some speed. And let's see. I'm going to try to get a number of that Carnegie Mellon player that just checked in. We'll try to pick that up. I think it's Marolda comes back in. Martin near side Susie sandwiched between a couple of players. Loose ball. Hazelwood. Nice job of pirouetting with the ball, but then lost it. Vertal now as the Tartans charge back into WashU territory. Edmonds on a flank. Edmonds trying to deliver a cross. Gets past Susie. Gets closer. Left-footed shot. Headed by Nicholson and on the top netting. Oh, so dangerous. But Nicholson had no choice. He thought Martin might have been off his line, so he had to get ahead to it. Martin might have been in position to save that or at least gather it, but the ball came off Nicholson's head and onto the top netting. So it's going to be a corner kick for Carnegie Mellon. We have 8:22 remaining in the second half. Bukovalis will launch the corner. Low line drive corner, headed down, diving was Hazelwood's. Kept in play. Bukovalis another chance with the near post. That's headed by Morse. Bukovalis going to get a third chance to send a pass in. Tangled by two WashU players. Ball rolled out, and Hart picks it up for Carnegie Mellon. Bukovalis with space and across, and that's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick, and that'll relieve the pressure as the Carnegie Mellon Tartans are, again, all in. They've got all their chips pushed in the center of the table. They're down 2-1 with 7:39 left, and they've been all in for the last 4 or 5 minutes, leaving only Liam Ryan in his own territory, the goalkeeper for the Tartans. But so far, Washington's been able to repel the constant pressure that Carnegie Mellon's dialed up. Culver, kind of a half bicycle kick there, tried to find on, and that was short of the mark. And so here come the Tartans right back. Edmonds. And Hipskin try to take it away. Vertal, Bukovalis, and that's back out now to Harp, who has some space. Rolls down to Ball. Josh Ball trying to get to his left foot. Schonwetter, long cross. Fernandez gets to it, but then ball partially touched by Spock. Another probing pass and a header that goes wide of the far post. Vertal had a chance to get that one on frame, but steered it wide of the post. WashU fans, I'm sure, lots of anxiety, indigestion. They may have a bottle of Tums to reach for, to chomp on. As WashU's trying to maintain a 2-1 lead to the finish of this match. We have 6:22 left. But the Tartans have been pushing All players up front except for the goalkeeper in WashU territory. And here the Tartans now again starting to build that pressure. Brendan Sean Wetter. Fernandez dumped. He and Voda got tangled up. Ball skitters free for Edmonds. Edmonds, ball deflected off a WashU player, chested by Spock to Martin, and Martin will grab it before Fernandez can get to it. Near side for Hazelwood on the throw from Martin. Hazelwood up ahead, intercepted. Good job by Mancini to keep that away from Ann. If Ann gets to that ball, he's a speedy sort that could cause some problems. Mancini again measures a pass, delivers to Fernandez. Fernandez, left-footed feed. It's a little less than he wanted velocity-wise. Spot got to it, but it's maintained by Harp. And a chance here. Sean Wetter, Brendan. And the ball gets free for a moment. A shot by Harp. Or was it Vertal? Vertal had the shot there. Nicholson had good coverage. So that shot didn't get to its destination. And the ball eventually out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Tartans. And we have another substitution coming in for Carnegie Mellon. Vertal will come out of the match for a breather. And the player that comes in for Vertal will be Banka-Iadam. Banka-Iadam, this is his first appearance in the match, so he's got fresh legs, so he'll be a player that needs to be watched very closely. Morse keeping a close eye on Iadam as Vertal gets a breather. Meanwhile, 4:28 left in the second half. WashU clinging to a 2-1 lead. Edmonds pressuring, as are his fellow Tartans. Left-footed pass. Heger intercepts. Ball headed out beyond the penalty area. Can WashU get on it? It seems like there are 14 players for Carnegie Mellon on the field instead of 11. WashU is scrambling about a step behind each pass, it seems, but the Bears, to this point in the second half late, have been able to keep the ball out of the net. There's going to be some tired Bears, and this is going to be a throw-in for WashU. There's going to be some tired Bears at the end of this match because Carnegie Mellon has sent all 10 players beside the goalkeeper into WashU territory to try to get this match tied up and to try to maybe at least salvage a point. Mancini runs up, can't get a shot away, delivers a pass, and a shot rolled beyond the far post. Vukovalis slipped as he tried to get that shot and try to plant his foot for a strong shot and push that wide of the far post. Owen Culver checks out. Armando Sanchez-Conde comes in. We'll see if Culver is able to come back in, or will he be able to get a chance to come back in a couple of minutes. A very important goal kick here for Matt Martin. He's got to try to find a way to get that ball in the Carnegie Mellon territory and keep it there. Spock ahead, but Mancini's there, but he pushed this out of bounds near sideline. So WashU will get a throw in with 3:16 left in the second half. Hazelwood in no hurry to get this one launched. He has the ball in hand. Now we'll send it up on a throw. It's over Sanchez-Conde's head. And on the clearance attempt, Sanchez-Conde off his body. It'll be Edmonds with a throw in. Now let's see if WashU can keep this hemmed in a little bit. Campine's pass, a little weak, and it allows Spock to come up and at least force a throw-in, and this will burn some time off the clock and keep the ball in Carnegie Mellon territory for a few moments. 2:37 left, and the clock is moving. WashU leads 2-1 over Carnegie Mellon. A game that could be vital for both teams' postseason hopes. In the stretch run of the season, both teams have 3 conference games remaining. But this is the hinge weekend in which a lot of hopes hinge on how teams fare this weekend across the UAA. Again, the Tartans come into WashU territory. The Bears are retreating, circling the wagons around their goalkeeper, Matt Martin. Edmonds, the cross. Oh, the ball loose for a moment. The deflection. Oh, and it's steered out of bounds. Did Voda steer it out of bounds? He did. Boy, Nate Voda did a good job. He concedes a corner kick there. But that ball was free inside the 6 for a couple of moments, dangerously so. Here's the corner. Far post. Yedam got a head on it but couldn't direct it on frame. Now it's going to be Spock that chases it. No, it's Ryan Ann. Ryan Ann gets to the loose ball. He has Susie in the middle. Susie gets the ball on a free run. 1v1. Here comes Susie. Gets away from the goalkeeper, but Liam Ryan able to poke it away with his arm just in time and then slides it upfield for Edmonds. Tremendous save by Liam Ryan, a game-saving one for the moment. If Susie scores, the game is all over with, but right now the Tartans still have a chance with 1:13 left. The long arms of Liam Ryan able to keep that off the ledger of Susie for a goal. Now Ann intercepts the pass, and he has a chance now to run. Mancini takes the ball away, and Schlingeman now will bring it across. 1 minute left in the match. WashU ahead 2-1. The Tartans again charging. Edmonds trying to get around to Hazelwood. Hazelwood pokes it away nicely, and Hazelwood will tap it ahead to Ann. And to Hipskin. Back to Ann, and here comes WashU on the run now with 38 seconds left. Ann has one defender with him to try to corral him. Ann try to get to his right. Does. Can he get a shot away? And he takes it to the edge of the penalty area. He's entangled by Hart. Both players fall down. No foul. It's the right non-call. 23 seconds left. One more chance perhaps for the Tartans to tie. Hedman's get a head on the ball. Now it's going to be Nicholson that steers it out. Long kick for Susie with 13 seconds left. The Bears on the verge of a victory, but they got to try to repel the Carnegie Mellon Tartans one more time. 8 seconds. Mancini sends it long, middle of the field, headed to Martin, and Martin makes the catch off the Bucovales header, and WashU's going to get a win. The WashU Bears hold on with a 2-1 come-from-behind victory over Carnegie Mellon this afternoon, and players for both teams are exhausted. They gave all on the field, that's for sure. The Tartans were in WashU territory for the bulk of the second half. WashU players were scrambling, trying to keep the Tartans at bay, but it's the Bears that come away with a very big victory to improve to 6-3-2 overall in the season and 2-0-2 in conference play. Carnegie Mellon falls to 9-3 and also 1-3 in conference play. So Carnegie Mellon was already in sixth place, 6 points behind Chicago to start the day, and their chances and hopes of competing for the UA championship might have evaporated on this afternoon with the loss here against WashU. So as we have both teams shake hands after the match. Again, NYU tied with Rochester today. More importantly, Emory defeats Brandeis 4-2. Not as importantly, because those teams are at the bottom of the table or close to it. WashU wins over Carnegie Mellon, and Chicago leads Case Western Reserve 2-0 with 2:21 left in the second half. So if Chicago holds on to that 2-0 lead late in the second half and goes on to win, then Chicago would have 12 points. WashU would have 8 points.